All right, welcome, homies, to 1.6 mixed practice with fractions and decimals, with adding and subtracting. Here we go. So, at Eastside Middle School, students compete in a school-wide mathematics B. There are 4 rounds with different tasks students participate in, earning points for each correct answer. Peeps, we have to get all these right. So make sure you're following along and answering the questions when I ask you to. Here we go. So first things first, we're going to be able to find the missing answer here. Our answer is one of these 4 boxes. We got to find out, what do we add to 5.05 to get an answer of 13.25? I'm going to show you 2 different methods here. First method is guess and check. 5.05 plus some number, one of these numbers, is equal to this answer. So let's guess and check. You kind of think in mental math here. If I add a positive to a positive, I'm going to get a positive answer, right? So let's check. 5.05 plus 8 ABC1 ABC2. That's 8 1/2. And you get 13.55. Is 13.5 the answer? Nope. So it can't be that answer. Let's try the next one. 5.05 plus a negative 8.25. You get negative 3.2. That's not the answer. 5.05 plus 41 ABC5, or 41 fifths, and you get 13.25. That's my answer. 41 over 5 is my answer. Okay, good. Now I'm going to show you a different way to do it. So that's the guess and check method. Now we are going to go backwards, because addition, the opposite of addition, is subtraction. So if I know my answer, I know the number to start with, I can go backwards and use subtraction to find my missing number. Watch this. Start with the answer, 13.25. Then subtract what you started with, 5.05. Press enter. And look at that. You get 8.2. But wait, that's not one of my answer choices. But we can convert this. 41 fifths, we can convert 8.2. We can see if those are equivalent. Let's turn 8.2 into a fraction by pressing second, PRB. It says F to D. That means fraction to decimal. Press enter. Oh, and look at that. Now I'm at 8 1/5, but that's still not in the same format. So let's turn this into a mixed number. If you remember from 1.5, we can press second, ABC, to turn this into an improper fraction. 41 over 5 is my answer. So that is how you can go backwards, okay, instead of just guess and checking. All right? I want you guys to now pause it and try to find the answers to these next 2. All righty? Find the answers either using guess and check or going backwards with subtraction. Okay, I'm going to pause the video here. All righty, here's your answers. So you should have got 29.5 or 29 1/2 for B. And I used the backwards method. I did not use the guess and check. And on C, I got negative 1/4 as my answer from going backwards. I subtracted the answer by the starting number, and I got negative 1/4. Okay. Moving on to round 2 of the B, the mathematical B. Here we go. We need to find our answer here. We're going to use the answer from this box and put it in our next box, in the second box here, to find the answer. So here we go. 40.8 minus 14 1/10. Let's put it in our calculator. 40.8 minus 14 ABC1 ABC10. You get 26.7. So what number would go here in this box? Oh, it would be a 6. So that 6 goes right there. So now you have to use that number to find the answer to this box. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video. I want you to find the answers to these next 2 boxes. All right, welcome back. You should have found the answers to the next 2 boxes. So you bring the 6 over here, you subtract them, you get 6.9, and then I want you to practice writing these as mixed numbers and improper fractions. So use your calculator button. 6.9 in your calculator, press second PRB, turns it into your fraction. Then we can turn that into a mixed improper by doing second ABC, 69 over 10. So these are all equivalent. Same thing in the next box. We bring our 9 over into this box right there. and you get negative 2 and 7/10, or negative 27 over 10 would be your two fractional answers. All right, great job. Flip your page over. All right, you're going to solve these 5-word problems by problem solving. Use your calculator, okay, and then check my answers after you solve them. So go ahead and pause the video and check my answers once you're done. Okay? If you have a question, you should be asking homies around you or asking me for help. All righty, let's check our answers. On number 1, you should have gotten negative 21.80. So then you should be putting a Z under number 1. Number 2, you should have recognized, or if you forgot, overdraft means negative. Overdraft is a negative charge, and a fee is also negative. So you should be negative 25.60 plus a negative 10.35, resulting in a negative $35.95 remaining balance in Mr. Roy's bank account. So you should be putting in a P under number 2, or above number 2. Number 3 was a little challenging. Let's see if you got it. To find the price for one muffin, you should have subtracted the 10 minus the change. You get $7.14. This is how much money all 3 muffins cost. But you know how division works. You got to divide to find the cost for one muffin. 7.14 divided by 3 is $2.38. So that's how much one muffin cost. So that means an E goes above 3. Number 4, 3 1/4 cups of total flour, 1 1/2 cups for white flour. How can we find out how much is just wheat? Subtract them. 3 1/4 minus 1 1/2 is 1 3/4. So you should put a R above number 4. And then last one, number 5. If the total twice a week for 1 1/2 hours each, we can add 1 1/2 plus 1 1/2 to find out the total amount of piano lessons she's doing, which is 3. And then she also practices 2 3/4 hours each week. So we're going to add 2 3/4 to the 3 hours, and you get a total of 5 3/4 hours of piano lessons. And that is your last letter, which is an I. All righty. Let's move on to round 4. This was a tricky one. This is a fun little round here. Let's try it. We don't have numbers for these. We just have it on the number line. So we can kind of visualize what these numbers would be. We have positive numbers. We have negative numbers. We don't need to know the exact numbers here to figure out the answers. We're just going to say if the answers are going to result in a positive, a negative, or 0. All right, I'm going to do the top 4. You do the bottom 4. C minus B. Well, look at C minus B. C minus B, they're only 2 away. Look how far away they are from 0. These are both positive numbers. If we would subtract these, we're going to get a positive answer. Now C plus B. These are also 2 positives. 2 positives added together, of course, equals a positive answer. A plus B. A is negative, B is negative. Let's see how far away they are from each other. A is 1, 2, 3 away from 0. And B is 1, 2, 3 away from 0. So if we add them, they're adding the opposite. Adding the opposite results in 0. A minus B. A is at 3. B is at 3. If we subtract them, we get 0. Okay? Now you guys try the next 4. I'm going to pause the video and give you the answers. So go ahead and you try now by yourself. All right, here's your answers. A minus C, it's going to be a negative answer because A is negative. If you subtract a positive, you're getting more negative. It's going to be a negative answer. Negative A is saying take the opposite of A. A is a negative number. So the opposite of a negative is a positive. C minus A, C is bigger, and we're subtracting a negative. Okay, when you subtract a negative, it's going to be more positive. So it becomes a positive. A plus C, C is positive and it's bigger. It's further away from 0. So C is bigger. It's going to end up with a positive answer. All right, good job, guys. This is 1.6 video notes. So go ahead and look at your tracker and go do the must do. Let's get